In this video, I thought it would be fun to compare different sport niches on Amazon and RedBubble and see how they're different. Let's go. Thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juno with Detour Shirts. I've been designing and selling t-shirts online since 2005, and I want to show you different things about t-shirt design online. In this case, I want to show you the difference between Merch by Amazon and RedBubble. I've said this a lot. Each pod site has their own audience. There are different things that they do well and people are looking for in that audience. I'm going to show you at the end of this video what the differences are. But the main part of this video is to show you the different sport niches. These things are really popular right now with the Olympics and the Super Bowl and all of those things happening around this same time. Sports t-shirts and sports designs are hot right now. And so I wanted to show you some of the different ones that are out there on Amazon and RedBubble, and we can compare the two and look what they have. And so the idea behind this video is to show you the differences so that you can design for those audience. If you're on Amazon, you can see what kinds of things people like to buy on Amazon. And if you're on RedBubble, you can see the kinds of things that are selling on RedBubble. So we're going to compare the two and see what they're like, and at the end show you the difference. So let's get into the internet and look at some sport niches right now. So the first thing I want to look at is just overall sports, but funny sports. So I got here on Amazon, I typed in funny sports t-shirt, and you can see this is what Amazon has. Mainly text. You got some good big graphics, right? Just some funny generic text, right? So these are not, it can be football, but a lot of them just say sports, right? This is kind of a play on baseball, but it says touchdown, so kind of funny stuff here. So very generic stuff. On RedBubble, let's see, these are the best selling. I typed in funny sports. You can see a lot more illustration. You got animals. You got some copywritten stuff too, right, with Goku and things, but you got animals. I think this is from a movie, Tenenbaums. So just be careful about some copyright stuff on RedBubble, but you can see more graphical stuff, more things that are drawn and things like that. So to recap, here's funny sports. Merch by Amazon had 30,000 results for that funny sports, and RedBubble has 388,000 results. So that's pretty cool. Let me get my face out of here. You can see kind of the idea, the difference between the two, right? Merch by Amazon has shirts like these, and RedBubble has shirts like these. So you can see kind of the difference between RedBubble and Merch by Amazon. Let's do another one. So this time I typed in football t-shirt. You can see over 30,000 results. Again, these are the huge niches. I'm not going down to trends. This is a big niche, and you're going to have to niche down to compete in here. But just to show you what kinds of things in these niches there are, you can see these are kind of the top selling. We've got to compete with peanuts. Football, bigger graphics, right? Bigger words, big graphic there. And let's see, just these are some of the things right here. Fun Day Sunday, you know. Again, just very generic. We're not talking about NFL teams. You can't do that on Amazon anyway, so that's good. That's why we're not seeing any Super Bowl things here, because you can't do Super Bowl stuff, but you can see it's super low BSR, right? I'm just here for the snacks, obviously talking about a big game day where there's snacks involved, and just doing really well, right? And this one too, 10,000. Football, but it says home run, so kind of fun. I think people would want to wear these to their Super Bowl parties, right? Even though it's not Super Bowl. Football on RedBubble, I just typed in football here. You can see this has 416,000. There's a ton of shirts, but again, be careful. I think this is a Ted Lasso reference here. Also this one, AFC Richmond. I'm not sure where this is from, but I'm sure it's from a show. If you know, guys, Dylan Panthers, I'm guessing that's from a show as well. So just be careful on here for copy written stuff. But you can see a lot more graphic stuff. This is funny. I don't know what it is, but it looks funny. Big pictures and things like that. So silhouettes, a lot more illustrative kind of stuff right here. So let's look at the recap here. Football t-shirts. Amazon kind of more like this. You can see a lot of black t-shirts, and then a lot more color here on Redbubble, more illustrative, kind of hand-drawn kind of stuff like this. Let me get my face out of here again. So, but be careful with the copywritten stuff like that. So let's take a look at another sport. So another big sport on Amazon and Redbubble is soccer. So this is football in every place else that's not American football, but football anywhere else in the world. And we call it soccer in the US. But take a look at these still very low BSRs here. Notice the similarities, big bold text, big bold graphics, right? Not doing as well as American football because of the Super Bowl, but still very low BSRs here. You can see that. These are some of the top ones. Soccer. Even Mickey, even Disney wants to do some soccer, right? Because they know people love to get their soccer t-shirts on and wear it. And here it is on Redbubble, soccer. Not as big as before, 228,000, still pretty broad subject, right? But if we do best selling here, let's let that run. You can see some of these things not even related. I don't know how RBG got here, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but she's in the top one. Here you can see, again, copyrighted stuff with football or soccer. Ted Lasso, again, of course, Italia. So make sure not to do some of those things, but there's some things that you can do, right, on here. So a lot more photos and graphics and things like that on here. So this is Red Soccer on Redbubble. Still pretty big niche, right? You're gonna have to niche down and find something. But let's look at the recap here. 30,000 results, one of the bigger ones on Merch by Amazon for sports. And you can see this is kind of what they're doing. Again, dark shirts, you notice that, black shirts, and Redbubble. Not all of them were black, a lot of them were white and red and things like that, but more illustrative drawings and things like that, right? So that's 3. We're gonna look at 7 more and kind of look at all the different things. So another big sports niche on Amazon is baseball. It has 30,000 results, and a lot of them just are the baseball t-shirts, the Raglan t-shirts. So we're gonna have to cut those out. But you can see these are some of the other baseball stuff. We got Mickey in there again, diamonds. Let's see, they're 100 days, right? Not sure, that's the Mandalorian, that's not baseball. This baseball flag, that's cool. That's really neat, running baseball, things like that. This actually looks like something that would be on Redbubble, right? And we got Pit Crew and things like that. Let's look at Redbubble best selling. I typed in baseball right here, and you can see really cool stuff. This one is really nice, illustrative. Not sure what this is. It's kind of neat. This is more, looks like Japanese, Land Ever Rising. Probably a baseball player. I don't follow baseball, sorry guys. And you know, got some things like that. So just be careful again. Sports stuff could be copyrighted, right? So don't do any players and things like that, but you can see some nice drawings and things like that here. So I'm not going to tell you what is and what isn't copyrighted because I don't know all of them. You're going to have to do your research, but I'm sure that a lot of these, like this is, I know that's the MLB logo, just done a little bit different, so be careful with that. All right, so let's look at this. Baseball t-shirts, 30,000. Redbubble has 219,000. Again, you can see the difference. A lot more dark shirts, big graphics. You get the idea, right? So I think sports do a lot better on Merch by Amazon, but if you're going to do sports, then you're going to have to do it in a different way than you do it on Merch by Amazon. But definitely it's a lot of results. These are big niches on Redbubble, and so you're going to have to niche down. So basketball is another big sports niche, not as big as some of the other ones we saw before, only 10,000 results, but still a really big niche. These are some of the things that are popular on Merch by Amazon or on Amazon. You can see this one's getting a really low BSR, so is that one. Of course, heart stuff with Valentine's are doing well, right? And then we got all these things here. Again, bigger, you can see a lot of on black t-shirt like we saw before. Let's look at RedBubble. These are the best selling. Again, be careful with copywritten stuff. This is Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman. So this is just almost a photo of Michael Jordan. So be careful with these kinds of things, but this is safe, right? Evolution of basketball on a heartbeat and things like that. Just be careful. No Dennis Rodman. I would stay away from Scottie Pippen and any of the basketball players. But you can see this is a huge one, 214,000 here on Redbubble. Just be careful what you do. I would probably do stuff like an animal playing basketball or something like that, but not an actual person, right? So to recap here, basketball, not as big on Merch by Amazon as some of the other ones, but you can see these are some of the ones that they have. And on Redbubble, I'll remove my face here. A lot more illustrative stuff, even though some of these are copyrighted. I would say the style, right? You can see more hand-drawn, more creative, illustrative kind of stuff here on Redbubble. So this is sport niche number 6 that we're showing, and from team sports, let's go to individual. This is golf t-shirt, and again, we're getting some actual golf shirts, but take a look at these. These are great for Father's Day and things like that. Still very low BSRs. Some of these top ones you can see here. So these are kind of the ones that are selling. The flag again, that's another one that we see, kind of this sunset idea. Big graphics, right? Sasquatch is a thing that does well on Merch by Amazon. Let's see on Redbubble. I forgot to do best selling here. As it goes, you can see, you know, Evolution, that one did well before. Golf Father, some nice, I don't know what this is, but it's a nice illustration. We got astronaut playing golf, that's kind of cool. Right, so very creative kind of drawing stuff here. Very creative way of writing golf with your golf clubs and things like that. Stay away from Tiger Woods or anything like that. I think this one's Happy Gilmore, so careful with the copyrighted stuff. Here on Redbubble, a lot less results than some of the other ones, only 93,000. But you can see, I'll move my face again, a lot more creative stuff, and here a lot more black and stuff with the text and bigger graphics and vintage sunsets and flags, right? So let's take a look at a winter sport. Here's hockey, and you can see very low BSRs. Like sports stuff do really well if you can get here on the first page. Flags again, this distressed texture, right? Big graphics. Cross niching with the holidays. We saw a lot of that with the other ones. This one's with Valentine's Day, you can see. So remember that when you do sports and a holiday. The next one coming up is St. Patrick's Day, and we got more and more holidays coming up. Oh, right here, St. Patrick's Day, St. Hattricks, right? So St. Hattricks, you can see doing really well. You can see this person did it with Christmas before and probably did well before too. So remember that when you're doing holiday and cross niching. So good stuff here. Okay, Redbubble, what did they have? Best selling. You can see more graphic stuff, and then again more team stuff, which you shouldn't do, but they have a lot of the team stuff, Mighty Ducks and things like that. I'm sure this is a hockey team, but a lot more cartoony kind of things, right? So this one's more artistic, got a lot more bigger graphics and stuff. So to recap, Redbubble has this kind of amount, 112,904, and you can see again more illustrative stuff. And Merch by Amazon, the top sellers, dark t-shirts, right? Vintage distress stuff here, and cross niching with the holidays. So good results. I hope you're seeing the difference here, the different audience types on Amazon and on Redbubble. We're going to see the difference. I'm just going to share a few more so to get the point across, but you can see what kinds of things are selling for this sport niche, and I think this will transition for other stuff too. So just a few more that I wanted to show you, just a few more sports niches. Here's tennis. You can see tennis ball. Love tennis. Perfect day, right? Heartbeat, that we see that a lot. actually. And that's it for tennis. Wow. Let's go page 2. I really love, that's ping pong, table tennis. So, you may have to do niche down and not just do tennis t-shirt. You're gonna have to do something more unique, because the tennis, just doing tennis t-shirt, all these Adidas and Under Armour stuff comes up. Okay, so tennis here on RedBubble, you can see kind of big, 72,000. Let's do best selling. Let's see what they got here. A lot of cartoon illustrations, right? Earlier we saw like an animal playing tennis. Got this kind of thing. Just be careful with the drawings. You can't do McEnroe here or any of the other tennis players, but think of other things that you can do here. You could do animals. You could do more generic stuff, right? Like that. So here, recap. RedBubble, 72,000 results. Merch by Amazon, 10,000 results. I had to go to a few different pages to find some tennis stuff, but these are some tennis stuff on Merch by Amazon, and some tennis stuff here on RedBubble. Like I said, I think animals playing sports or cartoony stuff, hand-drawn kind of stuff like that, those would do really well on RedBubble and then wouldn't get you in trouble too. So I saved a couple of big sports at the end that you may not think of, like team sports, but cycling is a big one. You can see 10,000 results here, but take a look at these, just some low BSRs. Not as low as some of the other ones, but just some good designs here. This one's really low. So you might not think of cycling to do cycling, but cycling is a good sport too. Let's check on RedBubble. And I should do best selling here. And RedBubble, this is a big one on RedBubble actually. So you got animals on cycles or just some kind of artwork. Look at this one. It's pretty cool. So I love the different designs for this specific niche. I'm not a cyclist by any means, but look at the artwork on these. Some cool stuff, right? So just to recap, one of the bigger sports niches on RedBubble, and just very creative one here. So I think this does well on RedBubble. One of the sports that does really well on RedBubble. You can see super creative. And then Merch by Amazon has some nice stuff here too, but we're seeing that same pattern with the vintage sunset, right? And vintage distress stuff, things like that. So the last sports niche that I saved is gaming. Now you may not think of gaming as a sport, but it takes some skill and things like that. So I'm going to count it. You may think it's a hobby. I'm going to count it as a sport. Take a look at some of these though. This is one of the biggest niches on Merch by Amazon. Take a look at some of these low BSRs, and lots of different ways you can do this, but super low BSRs, right? This is a big one. And RedBubble here, best selling. They got some big one too. A lot more with RPG stuff, role-playing games. Just be careful with Star Wars and things like that. But cool stuff, right? Dungeons and Dragons kind of things pop up here instead of actual video gaming. They got some other kind of gaming stuff here. Just be careful with copywritten stuff. Again, I can't tell you how many of these are because I don't play all these games, but do your research. Here it is, 10,000 results on Merch by Amazon. Just some of the probably the most popular stuff on Amazon. And then RedBubble, big, huge. That's one of the bigger amounts for sports anyway. And you can see a lot more hand-drawn stuff and things like that. So what did we learn here? So this is kind of the recap of it all. So if you want to know the differences, at least for the sports ones that we saw, these are the differences between Amazon t-shirts and RedBubble t-shirts. So on Amazon, we saw a lot of big words. We saw a lot of simple graphics, a lot of vintage texture and vintage sunset, and a lot more patterns. We saw leopard patterns and other patterns like that. We saw a lot of American flags, or kind of making stuff to look like the American flag or things like that, and a lot more black t-shirts, right? But on RedBubble, they have a different audience. You saw a lot more illustrations and cartoons and drawings of animals, a lot of copywritten stuff, copyrighted stuff, but don't do that. That's why I crossed it out here. A lot of mashups, right? We saw animal riding a bike or things like that. artistic banners. We saw that very end with the RPG stuff with the dice, that banner, just really intricate, nice banners. And they have more colored shirts. Not all of their stuff is on black. It's all on white and blue and red and things like that. So you can see the tone is a little bit different. You saw it with all these niches. That's what I wanted to show you, and show you how popular sports niches are too. So this is kind of a 2-for-1 video to show you the differences between Merch by Amazon, but also how popular sport niches are. And you should be designing for those if you're not already. So that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this video was really helpful for you. If it was, make sure to give it a thumbs up. We went over 10 sport niches. And we saw that they were selling really well. If you're not doing any sport niches, you should be doing those. Make sure, depending on what pod site that you're using, use those things that I talked about. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos that I have. The question of the day for this video is, what other sports niche did I miss? I only talked about 10. I know there's lots of other sports on there. Let me know which one that you want to design for, or think that I should have put on this list. Leave that in the comments. And if you want to see more of my videos on how to design or different niches, click on these videos right here. And as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.